The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
This is seeingeagles.com. I'm the voice of the Eagles, Adam Cavalier, and this is our weekly Sunday conversation. Each week, we pick out a Carson-Newman student, athlete, coach, administrator, or alum and tell their unique story. And this week, Carson-Newman assistant men's basketball coach Andy Barnett joins me. Andy, thanks for the time.
Not a problem, Cav.
You have an interesting story. A player on last year's team won the Mossy Creek Madness Slam Dunk Contest, leader in threes, and then April 12th happens in your life. Break that day down for me.
Woke up April 12th, getting ready for class. Got out of bed, felt a little bit dizzy, nothing out of the ordinary. Showered, went through my morning, sat down to put my shoes on, fell out of my chair. I ended up stumbling over to Carson Brooks's apartment, and I sat down on his couch, and he came out of his room, woke me back up, and took me to the trainers. The trainers took me to the nurse, and the nurse got the ambulance, and I went to the hospital, where I was later diagnosed and having a stroke.
21?
22.
22. What's going through your head as this is going on?
I'm 22 years old and I'm not having a stroke. I think that's exactly what I said to Carson when he was like, dude, you're having a stroke. And I was like, I'm 22 years old. There's no way I'm having a stroke.
Was it the classic symptoms?
It was the classic symptoms. Couldn't move my whole left side of my body.
How were you scared? What was the feeling that you were going through?
I wasn't scared. While I was in the hospital, I was more happy-go-lucky, kind of laughing things off, and my sense of humor was raised. It was really weird, but like I wasn't freaking out or anything. Mm-hmm. I was just laughing and being funny.
How long were you in the hospital?
I was in the hospital for 3.5 days.
You were probably the youngest person there, correct?
Yep, I was the youngest person on the floor by at least 50 years.
And I'm presuming your parents were the next youngest people on the floor.
Yep.
What was that like?
It was scary. After I got to Knoxville and they explained everything that was going on, kind of set in that I was actually having a stroke, mm-hmm. and that some people don't always come all the way back from having a stroke. So
clearly you are okay now.
I am.
We'll ruin the spoiler, but you're doing fine. It's been diagnosed and being treated, so that's good. But it took a while. Mm-hmm. What was that process, that uncertainty like?
It was uneasy. At the beginning of the summer, I was preparing for another season, mm-hmm. for basketball, lifting, running, playing. Went to the doctor. He told me, he was like, there's no reason for you to quit playing or anything. And so I kept training, and then I went to a cardiologist appointment, and that's when he told me, he was like, no, like that's college basketball is not in your cards at this point.
What was going through your head? Take me through the stages when it first happens. What are you thinking about in terms of basketball? Is basketball even in your mind as you're going through that?
During the stroke, I was just wanting to get back with my team and get going for this year and everything. But as it set in, I was more worried about being able to get all my movement back, mm-hmm. and be healthy for the long run and not just basketball season.
I think players who play here, there's a level of input within the team. Chuck Benson lets players make calls in certain situations.
Right.
How did that prepare you for a transition to now coaching on this team?
Coach Benson does a really good job of preparing us players for any situation. It's on our bands, poise, and that's what I really had to lean on, was being poised through the whole situation and knowing I was doing the right thing.
You look at that, you look at where you want your career to go. How much does coaching factor into that? Are you getting a jump start almost?
I'm getting a jump start, I think. Coach Benson, when we come in as a freshman, I remember it on my visit. He was like, "You'll leave here with a college degree, and you'll leave here with a career plan." And we've been in constant conversation about getting my foot in the door and getting me in somewhere so I can start my coaching career after I get done playing. But it just happened to be a year early, and with this staff.
What's that like to go unexpectedly from player to coach just like that?
It was hard. Over the summer, I kind of had a couple months to kind of take everything in and let it soak in and kind of deal with it. And then getting back to campus, I had to do that again because I wasn't able to do the workouts and do the running and shooting and all that. And then there's going to be one more tough day. It'll be the first game, first home game when I go down there and look for my jersey and it's not there. It's going to be a tough day, but I think we all made the right decision on what I need to do for my future.
Yeah, it's your health.
Yeah,
it's absolutely your health. What's the response been like from your teammates now that you're out there on the court in a different role?
Supportive. All the guys that were here last year, the day I had the stroke, they dropped everything and were in the hospital with me. So they've just nothing but supportive. They help when I need help, and I help them when they need help. And they can come to me with questions and different things that they can't necessarily come to coaches with.
Now, obviously, you can't play collegiate basketball competitively.
Right.
You could probably still win the dunk contest, correct?
I could probably win it. Since we're not having it this year, I consider myself the undisputed reigning Mossy Creek slam dunk champion.
That's fair. That's fair. What have you picked up? Coaching obviously takes a little bit of time, but what have you kind of done to fill the competitive void?
I've picked up playing golf. It is frustrating, but I have fun with it, and I've been playing with Coach Williams and Coach Likely, and we've been getting after it on the golf course.
You're probably the best of the three?
Probably. I would have to say I am.
Good. For somebody who's in a similar situation, who's young and gets thrown a curve ball at their life like this, what's your advice to them?
Stay poised. Roll with the punches. Don't get down. Try to stay as positive as you can.
How much did that positivity from your teammates, I mean, you said your entire team was there.
Right.
How much did that positivity from Carson-Newman men's basketball, from Carson-Newman athletics, help you through the ordeal?
I think it was huge. Knowing that me being a part of the team last year, you have people relying on you, and you rely on other people. It's kind of the trust factor in our program. We have to trust that everybody's going to be there for each other. So it was just trusting that they'll be there for me, and then they know I'll be there for them.
Andy, thank you very much for the time and sharing your story.
Not a problem.
It's Carson-Newman men's basketball's Andy Barnett. This has been another Sunday Conversation. I'm the voice of the Eagles, Adam Cavalier, and this is SeeingEagles.com.